Hi there, Clever Melon here. Thank you for joining me today on my first ever episode on this channel. I'm very excited to be here with you. Today we are going to be opening our season on Introduction to Business. And today we're going to be looking at the topic of back to basics. And we're going to be really looking at what business means from its definition. So let's get right into it. The first question we have is, what is business? And people are going to be like, I kind of know what business is about. I mean, I see it there on the shops when I go out to go get my groceries, to buy my clothes, to take my pet to the vet. You see it on the daily. But what does it actually mean? And how do we actually learn from its definition? So that's what we're going to be diving into today. Our first definition is business. Business is any commercial, industrial, or professional activity that is aimed at making or providing goods or services to others while operating at a profit. But the real question is, what does that actually mean for us? So what that means is that we can now see that there's 3 different aspects that we can draw just from that definition alone. The first is that any type of organization, entity, or even a person such as an entrepreneur can be a business. The second is that the main purpose of a business is to generate some form of economic production of goods or services. And the third is that a business can be either a for-profit or a non-profit organization. Now the question is, what is a for-profit organization? So for-profit organizations are those businesses that are focused on providing goods and services to others while seeking financial gain because of the exchange. Now, the question comes in that what is profit? So to break profit down, we're going to go into look into some key definitions first in order to understand how we actually get to our profits. The first of the key definitions we're going to look at is goods or products, and the second is services. So goods or products are those tangible items like our computer, our pen, our clothing, our food that we can actually physically touch and see. Services, on the other hand, are intangible items. They are things that we can't hold, we can't always see them, and they're acts that we rather benefit from, and they're things like knowledge and education, insurance, or even travel. Now the key here to remembering the difference is that when we have something that's tangible, like a product or a good, it means that we can see it and touch it normally. And when we have a service, it's intangible. It means that we can't touch it, but we benefit from the act that is being done. Now, the goal here, no matter if you are selling goods or products or services as a business, you are aiming to receive some monetary form of compensation back because of selling that. So if that is our overall goal, that means that we're actually looking to produce what is called revenue. Revenue is that total money that a business takes in during a specific selling period. So that means that we're getting money in. But at the same time, we have to consider that there is money that's going to have to go out in order to get to that revenue. And that is our expenses. These expenses are payments that we have to make in order to help our business operate and function. They can be things like taxes, insurance, our employees' salaries even. And you have to pay them on a certain period of time. And when you take your expenses minus from your revenue, you can now see if you are making a profit or a loss. Now, profit. Profit is that amount of money that the business is earning above what it is spending from its revenue. And that makes us happy normally. I mean, you're getting money in, yay, it's a good thing. But there's also that occasional time when you make something called a loss, as I've mentioned. And this is when our expenses are actually greater than the money that we are getting in as our revenue. And that makes us kind of sad. Yeah. So we can get this like formula going that's saying that revenue minus expenses is either going to give me my profit or my loss. And that is how you know what you're doing if you're making a profit or loss. Now we're going to go into what is a nonprofit organization. Nonprofit organizations are those businesses that, though they are working towards getting a profit, they're actually focused more on taking that money and that financial gain that they've gotten and using that to meet social causes and other goals like that. The key here, though, is that no matter what type of business you have or that you are running, if it's a nonprofit or a for-profit, you are going to have to still generate financial wealth in order to operate. And that brings us to another key thing that we need to consider here, and that is stakeholders. no matter what type of business you have, you are responsible for these people called stakeholders. So stakeholders are our individuals, groups, or even organizations that are being influenced by our business's operations. They can be our customers, our employees, they can be business partners, local business in the area that you're working in, and even just shareholders. So that is why I say that you can remember these people as normally like your steak, but not the meaty kind, the pointy kind, okay? Because they hold a stake in our business. They are going to be influenced. If we tug one way, they're going to feel that tug in some other way. So that's how I explain that. But now that I've mentioned the thing called shareholders, I think it's very important to also draw the distinction between stakeholders and shareholders. So shareholders are individuals or groups that hold a share of our company and share in our actual profit or loss, while also influencing decisions and the business's directions. So they have more of an actual influence, right? They're right there with us in the business as everything is happening. So the difference here is that you need to remember that those shareholders are also a stakeholder. Not all stakeholders are shareholders. And that is a very important distinction to make as we keep going forward later on. And that is where we're going to end for today. Thank you for joining me today. It was great having you, and I'm hoping you learned something and that you will continue to support me and keep looking up for new videos that's going to be coming out soon regarding new topics under our Introduction to Business series. I can't wait. Bye!